Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I'm Sheikh and you're watching today's legal news where we update you with the latest legal developments across the country and world. Starting with the headlines. Supreme Court recalls 2022 judgment striking down sections of Benami Act as unconstitutional. Governor bound to the Cabinet's decision, observes Madras High Court. Supreme Court dismisses case against Isha Foundation in Madras High Court. Bangladesh court orders arrest warrant for ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. South Korean court recognizes misogyny as hate crime motive in landmark ruling. Now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has recalled its 2022 judgment quashing prosecutions under the Benami Property Transactions Act 1988. A bench headed by CJI Diva Chandrachud noted that the decision to declare sections 3, 2 and 5 of the Act unconstitutional was passed by without there being any challenge or arguments made to that effect. The court passed the order on a review petition filed by the centre challenging the August 23, 2022 order passed by a three-judge bench headed by then CJI N.V. Ramana. The said decision held that 1988 law to be overly broad, disproportionately harsh and without adequate safeguards. This became the basis for the court to strike down key provisions of the law and set aside all prosecutions carried out under this law till amendments were introduced in the year 2016. Setting aside the order, the bench also comprising Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice Manoj Mishra said, review is allowed. It is trite law that challenge to constitutional validity cannot be adjudicated upon in the absence of a liveless case. While hearing a petition from a lifetime prisoner seeking early release, the Madras High Court has reaffirmed that the governor is constitutionally bound to follow the decisions made by the state cabinet. The petitioner, Veera Bharti, who is serving a life sentence for murder in Puzhal prison, approached the court seeking premature release. He had previously submitted a petition to the state committee headed by the prisoner DGP requesting his release based on good conduct as he had previously spent 20 years in jail. Veera Bharti argued that the other prisoners convicted of similar crimes had been released early. He stated that after a thorough review, the state committee recommended his release and this recommendation along with the necessary documents was forwarded to the Chief Minister. Following approval by the cabinet, the request was sent to the governor for final assent. However, Veera Bharti pointed out that the governor refused to grant assent to his release. The bench, comprising of Justice S.M. Subramanian and Justice V. Sivagnanam, referred to the Supreme Court's ruling in cases like that of Perari Vallam, convicted in the assassination of former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, and emphasized that the governor is obliged to act in accordance with the cabinet's decision. The Supreme Court has cancelled all proceedings against the Isha Foundation over a father's claim that his daughters had been brainwashed into joining spiritual leader Sadhguru's ashram in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore and denied their family contact with them. The petition claimed unlawful detention was rejected as both Geeta and Lata were adults and living in the ashram for their own free will, a bench led by Chief Justice Diva Chandrachud ruled. The order, however, is for this case only. The court also said following acknowledgement earlier that the order at ashram was recently charged with child abuse. On the brainwashed matter, it said that the Madras High Court, which ordered an inquiry into the habeas corpus petition, after which the police raided the ashram, acted in a completely inappropriate manner. The Supreme Court noted that since neither of the daughters was a minor, they were 27 and 24 when they joined the ashram, and that the purpose of the habeas corpus petition was fulfilled by their appearing in the High Court, no further directions were needed from the judicial forum. Proceedings such as this could not be used to malign people and institutions, the Chief Justice orally remarked. A Bangladeshi court has ordered an arrest warrant for its exiled ex-Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who fled to India in August after she was toppled from power by a student-led revolution. Hasina's 15 years rule saw widespread human rights abuses, including the mass detention and extrajudicial killings of her political opponents. Her presence in India has infuriated Bangladesh. Dhaka has revoked her diplomatic passport and the countries have a bilateral extradition treaty which would permit her to return to face criminal trial. A clause in the treaty, however, says extradition might be refused if the offence is of a political character. Hasina's government created the deeply contentious ICT in 2010 to probe atrocities during the 1971 independence war from Pakistan. The United Nations and the rights group criticized its procedural shortcomings, and it became widely seen as a means for Hasina to eliminate political opponents. Several cases accusing Hasina of orchestrating the mass murder of protesters are being probed by the court. A South Korean court has recognized misogyny as a motive for hate crime, a decision activists hailed as a breakthrough for women's rights. The ruling was made in connection to a case where a convenience store worker was attacked by a man shouting feminists deserve to be beaten because she had short hair. The Changwon District Court upheld the assassin's 3-year jail term and added a clause in its ruling that explicitly stated that crime was motivated by misogyny. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum. Subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android devices for the latest legal updates.